All right, Deadlights, here we go. Episode 3 of It Welcome to Derry is about to hit our screens. And are we about to get our first glimpse of Pennywise the Dancing Clown? We're going to find out. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Digital Charcuterie. My name is James. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel and a fan of It, welcome to Derry. Hit that subscribe button. I talk about it and discuss it with you all the time right here on the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below of the first 2 episodes and what you hope and expect from episode 3. And do you think this is the one where we're going to finally see Pennywise on the screen? I, for one, do not. I don't. I think we're going to wait at least one more week. I always thought, speculating before the season started, that we'd have to get to episode 5 before we see Pennywise. I could be wrong. It could be this episode. All signs are leading to it being this episode, which is part of the reason why I'm even speculating next week is when we first get our glimpse of Pennywise, and I think it'll just be a glimpse. But the longer we wait, the more terrifying he's going to be, and I have no issue with that. Episode 3 of It Welcome to Derry is titled, Now You See It. So, I mean, I guess maybe we'll see based on the title. The synopsis for this episode is as follows. General Shaw pushes ahead with his mission, ordering Leroy and Polly to escort Dick Hallorann on an aerial search for a new dig site. Rose attends a tribal meeting. Ronnie, Lily, Will, and Rich attempt to get visual proof by conjuring an Ouija. So I did my breakdown of the trailer for this one a little while ago. You can check that out on the channel, so I won't talk about too much about that, but there's a lot going on in this episode, and I love that we're getting the kids going the full investigative route. I love this part of the kids. I love that about It Chapter 1. I love that Goonies vibe with the Stand By Me, the when Stephen King writes about the kids doing what they do, going on an adventure. Now, you are terrified for these kids, don't get me wrong, but I like the idea that they're like, there's something evil lurking here, and we're going to have to find it ourselves, and we're going to get photo evidence of this thing. So they bring, their parents' little camera. Of course, to get there, Lily has to be out of Juniper Hill, and based on some still photos for the week, you can see here, there's a few of them. It looks like her mom goes to pick her up. There's a conversation there. Her mom waits for her at Juniper Hill. So it looks like she's going to get out. How early or late in the episode, I'm not sure. I'm guessing early on. Look, these trailers and these teasers that they give us are 40 seconds of an hour-long show. An hour-long episode, you're only going to show so much. So a lot of it's not going to be represented in there at all. And they're going to hide details from us that they don't want us to know. So they're showing us what they want us to know, what they get us excited, but they're hiding everything else. I think there's going to be a lot more to this conjuring that they're going to be doing to get this Ouija going. And I think it might be terrifying. It's going to terrify the kids. It might even have an impact on March. It could be also what eventually unleashes Pennywise himself, like the actual clown itself could be due to this conjuring that these kids are going to do. For all we know at this point in the series, that's where we're headed. Parallel to this, we're getting more Dick Hallorann, who has the shine. They're using him to find the dig sites, to find the beacon so that they can harvest and get this evil within Derry and weaponize it to win the Cold War. No nukes are a match for fear. So Dick and Leroy are going to be hooked up, and they're going to go aerial in the sky to try to find a new dig site, to find a new beacon, to get to the bottom of this, because time is running out. They need to win the Cold War, as I said. Time is running out, so they're going to go aerial on this. While we're up there, we're seeing all sorts of visions that Dick's going to have in the weeks ahead trailer. There's a lot of visions in that. How much are going to be in this episode remains to be seen. But one, if you look at this still photo here, it looks like the visions are going to take him deep below Derry, possibly in the sewers. We could get our first glimpse of the sewer home of It. We could get that. I don't think we're going to see Pennywise. I think we'll see other forms, other fears of Pennywise. What does Dick Hallorann fear? I think that's going to be manifested down there, and I think this is going to lead. It could be this episode, it could be next, but I think the military will head for the sewers sooner than later, and when they get down there, we see the Uncle Sam. We're going to see other things that they're terrified of that's going to come after them before we get to Pennywise, and it won't be until the kids get into the sewer that we see Pennywise's true form, but we are getting that hint of the circus, right? Of the carnival going on, step right up from the trailer. We see that. We know that we're going to get a glimpse of backstory of what's going on there, whether or not that is a vision from Dick Hallorann, or we're just going to start this episode, or at some point we'll get a flashback of what's going on. Maybe the kids see this when they're conjuring up. Another kid going up to a ringleader at the circus, and he says, step right up. what do you want to see? We see Pennywise's wagon in this. How much of that are we going to get? Is it going to focus more on Bob Gray? Will Bob Gray play a big part in this as a lead up to Pennywise? Will we get the introduction of who Bob Gray is? Will we see a story now of Bob Gray being a character within it and either being consumed by it or being it from the get-go? And we see his ascent into becoming the dancing clown to learn how to get kids. Maybe this ringleader dude is it all along, and he's like, the ringleader's not working for the kids. They're not for ringleaders. They don't trust ringleaders at all. So maybe he decides, based on being the ringleader, the next progression is to be a clown with a big smiley face, a nice giggly laugh, a dancing clown who's over my shoulder right now. Kind of gives me the creeps. So maybe that's where we're going to get here. I'd love to see if that will factor into it at all. One thing we do not get is we do not get any Marge or the patty cakes in the trailers or in the stills, which leads me to believe that either she'll have no role in this or her role will be either minor or something big. Something big that they don't want us to see is going to happen here. I'm also curious to see what's going to come from Rose at this tribal meeting. What is she going to present at this meeting to say, hey, look, things are getting bad. The beacons are being found. This thing is going to be unleashed. We cannot let it out of its cage, as was a quote from a Weeks Ahead trailer. How much of that is going to be in this episode? And where is this storyline with the Indigenous going to go? Where are we going to be taken with this storyline? And how much have they been suppressing it for all of these decades? And how much have they not been, but they think that they are? Are they being tricked by it itself as well? I think this episode is going to really up the stakes. I think the conjuring that the kids are going to do for the Orcha is going to be super, super freaky as hell. I'm going to probably cry and pee my pants during that. I think that's going to be a moment that is going to affect these kids greatly. They're obviously not going to get anything on film. There's going to be no way they're going to be able to take a picture of any of this. Or maybe that's the shtick there, right? Is maybe they go out there, they do this whole thing, and nothing happens. They're just left completely alone because maybe while this is all going on, it is messing with Dick Hallorann up in the sky. Maybe he's been messing with Dick so much that he just leaves the kids be right now and he wants to get in Dick's head. And where's Dick's storyline going? Because Dick, there's these other still photos here where you see he is getting to know the Hamlin family. He's going to talk to them. He's going to let them know more about what's going on in Derry than they want to know. Like, he knows things. I know it's classified, but you're going to have to think that at some point things are going to start to leak. And now Leroy knows more than he's going to let on to Charlotte. And Charlotte's going to want to know answers because if bad things are happening, Charlotte's going to want to know. But I'm really looking forward to seeing more of the kids going out on their little adventure, their little mission, seeing what's going on there, and Dick Hallorann's visions, which I think are going to really be a focal point of this episode and bring a lot of fun and a lot of jump scares to what we're going to see. A lot of things are going to go down. We're going to learn a lot about the history of Derry, about what's going on with Derry within those visions of Dick Hallorann's, and I can't wait to see what we're going to get with it and what's going to take. So let me know your thoughts. What do you make of this episode? What are your hopes and expectations for episode 3? Now you see it. I'll have my review of it shortly after it airs. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate your time. Hit the like button and subscribe. But until next time, may you be the master of your own universe.